Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. This is Yo Javi, and today is finally Friday. Finally Friday. Yo, that sounds like, I don't know, like something good for a book or something. I don't know, a book, a song, an album. Finally Friday, maybe an album. Finally Friday. Maybe we should have our own album called Friday. Should we do something like that at some point? Should we do that? Now, if you hear my son in the background, he's asking my wife for a beso for her kids. She's going to work right now. I may have to go on a quick break, maybe. If he continues, I'll go on a quick break. But let's go ahead. Let me make sure everything's looking good here on the phone. Okay. Anyway, well, it looks like it is. Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me? Oh, there it is. Yep, I see it. Perfect. All right, so we are going over the Candlestick Trading Bible. We are almost done. We're almost there. A few more sections here, or a few more topics, and then we're gonna be done. We are at the. You know what? Let me just show it. We are here, so under the engulfing bar candlestick pattern, we are at trading the engulfing bar in sideways markets. So obviously we have already gone through all of these ones. Well, all of these ones right here. So this is page 125. That's where we're at right now. Hold on real quick. Okay. Trading the engulfing bar in sideways markets, page 125. I'm gonna let me go there first. 125, page 125. Okay, almost there. Go back up. Page 125, the Candlestick Trading Bible. Let me share the link in case somebody doesn't have it. Here's the link. I just shared the link. There it is. Is there a way for this to stay even after the stream? That's the only thing I'm not sure about. I'm not sure about that. Okay. Okay, here it is, page 125. How to trade the engulfing bar in sideways markets. Let me just do this to make sure I don't miss any messages, any comments. So, how to trade the engulfing bar in sideways markets. One of the most difficult markets to predict can be what? The sideways market and ranging markets. So, the sideways and ranging markets. I always recommend traders to focus on trading trending markets, but the problem is that the markets spend more than 70% of their time in ranging motion. You know what? This right here is key. The markets, because when I first started, I thought that the markets trended all the time, and they don't. More than 70% of their time is spent on that ranging motion. So let me actually share that in the beginners tab here on Discord. So the markets spend more than 70% of their time in ranging motion. We're gonna do this, the candlestick. So the candlestick, Candlestick Trading Bible. I'm just gonna write it out. So keep that in mind. We have to keep that in mind. So the market spent more than 70% of the time in ranging motion. If you focus just on trending markets, you will probably leave a lot of money on the table. This is the reason why learning how to approach range bound market. Now it's using the different words for the same thing. Sideways, ranging. What's the other one? Sideways and ranging. Yeah, sideways and ranging, same thing. So if you just focus, if you focus just on trending markets, you will probably leave a lot of money on the table. This is the reason why learning how to approach range-bound markets is a must. It's a must, right? If you want to make a decent living trading financial markets. What is a range-bound market? When the market stops making higher highs and higher lows in case of an uptrend, or lower highs and lower lows in case of a downtrend, the price starts acting between. So price starts acting between specific high price and low price. There is a floor and a ceiling, a specific floor and ceiling, specific range. So this is a clear sign that the market is ranging and no longer trending. So here it is. You see it goes to a specific ceiling, then it goes back down, then it hits the support, it goes up. Now it doesn't always have to go all the way up. It could just kind of like range there, and then it will go to that high. It won't break it, go back down. So that's a range bound market. It's ranging, it's moving sideways. So that's what that is. As you see in the example above, the market is what? It's trendless. It is trading between horizontal support. So horizontal support right here and resistance. And you can't apply the same techniques that you use in trending market to trade the engulfing bar patterns in range bound markets. Let me give you an example. When you are driving your car, you don't always drive the same way. If you are driving downtown, you try to drive slowly because you know that driving fast can put your life or others' life in danger. So this is just how you approach the market. Like, you don't always drive it the same way, right? So that's what this is saying. You don't always drive the same way. You don't always trade the same way. But when you are driving in a highway, like in a trending market, your driving style changes completely because you know that you can drive fast. So you always try to adapt. This is key right here. Try to adapt your driving style to the appropriate situation. You have to do the same thing when you are trading the engulfing bar pattern or any strategy, because all price action strategies we discussed before will not work in range bound markets, and you have to use the right techniques that fit these market conditions. Before talking about the right way to trade trendless markets, it's a trendless market because it doesn't have a trend. So it ranges, it moves sideways. You have to be selective about trading range bound markets to protect your capital, your trading account, because not all sideways markets are worth trading. I actually just try to stay away from them. I'm not saying I don't trade them, I don't ever trade them, or I won't. I'm just saying I try to stay away from them as much as possible because they're not easy. Honestly, they're not easy to trade. You get a lot of fake outs. If you try to trade at support, you'll get faked out a lot. If you try to trade at resistance, you're gonna fake out a lot, and the market will fake out like twice and then give you the move. So if you got in the first time, you got in the second time, you got stopped out both times, then the third time he wants to go, it wants to go in your direction. So that's the thing with these sideways markets. So you have to know how to differentiate between sideways and choppy. Now, sideways and choppy is a little bit different. I'll give you a hint. With a choppy market, you're gonna have a bunch of wicks in both directions, not just on one side, but you're gonna have wicks on the upside, downside, and they're usually not small. They're usually kind of large. In the context of those candles, when you compare all of the candles together, they're kind of gonna be about the same size, but like going up they're chopping, going down they're chopping, staying in the middle they're chopping. So that's more of a choppy market. So now look at this. Now, and to be honest, yes, this is choppy, but the market will give you uglier price action. Like you see wicks here on both sides, but and it's not really inside of just a range, I guess a larger range. It's having like its own range here, but it's just chopping. It's chopping. So you know what? I'm gonna show you a choppy market. I really don't like that image, because in the real market, choppy price action is choppy. Like look at this. This is choppy. Like they should have used something like this. You see how the candles are within usually a tight range. And then within that tight range, look at all these wicks. You see? Wicks to the upside, downside, in the middle. That to me, that's more of a choppy market. Let me find one more. Just this is choppy. Look at that. Look at that price action. It's usually within a tight price range, and you're getting wicked out on both sides. So to me, that's a better example of a choppy market. Listen, I'm gonna pull my own examples if I don't like the examples here. So as it is illustrated above, the market trades in a crazy way. You see, I mean, yes, this is kind of crazy, but like this is crazier. We can't identify major support levels and resistance. You have to stay away from this type of markets. Otherwise, you will definitely damage your trading account. And I'm going to be honest, when this year started, like when 2025 started, I wasn't thinking about this. I was thinking about my setups. I was thinking about supply setups, demand setups, liquidity grabs, and I was not thinking about the market condition. I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about, again, just finding a setup, taking it. But I would get in choppy markets. I would get in a setup. For example, there was a supply setup like somewhere here, like let's just say here, and I would dismiss this price action and still take it. And definitely this was a result. Like damaging my trading account was definitely a part of that. So I put it out there because I don't want you to make the same mistakes. So trading the engulfing bar candle in a range bound market is very simple. The first strategy is going to be about trading this price action pattern from major support and resistance levels like we see below. Hey Santana, how you doing, bro? How you doing? Good morning. Good morning. I know it's super early for you. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. As I said, continue going through the course. Definitely next week we'll get together. When I come back from Star Island, we'll set up the day and time. Of course, I'll make sure that it works for both, not just for me, but for both. So, all right. So here, trading the engulfing bar candle in a range bound market is very simple. The first strategy is going to be about trading this price action pattern from major support and resistance levels like we see below. So all you're doing is you're waiting for the market to go to the floor support, the ceiling resistance, and at that point you're looking for an engulfing candle. You see? So it went to resistance, boom, engulfing bar or an engulfing candle, trade it. That's what he's saying. Or support. So the second strategy is to trade the breakout of the range or to wait for the pullback. See the illustration below. So here it tried to break out of that ceiling. It tried to go past it. You see that? You waited for it to fail. It's a false breakout, and now it goes back down. And you trade that. You take sales here. Support, engulfing bar. You see and then here's a successful one. So this one actually broke out, this engulfing bar. Let me make it bigger. I know that looks small. So this one was a false breakout. You waited for it to come back in and then you took it. You sold. Here you could still sell, but you're gonna wait for the candle to close. If you see that it becomes an engulfing bar, boom, you sell. So it's like, how can I say this? You're waiting for two opposite things to happen, but you're taking it the same way. Here you waited for a false breakout. Here you waited for the candle to close. And you may ask me, when do you wait for what? Like, when do you know to wait for a false breakout, or when do you know to wait for, you know, a successful breakout? You don't. You just wait. That's all it is. Let's just say that you were waiting for a breakout here. You're gonna wait for that candle to close, but because it didn't close, you like, at this point the market is likely to go down. Now here you're doing the same thing. You're waiting for it to close. If it didn't close outside of, you know, of the support and resistance area, it means it broke out. If it didn't close inside of this range, it means it broke out. So at that point, it's always after the close. The close will tell you. If it closed outside of it, you got a breakout. If it failed to close outside of it, then that's a false breakout. I hope that's making sense. So you're just waiting for the close. That's all you're doing. Wait for the close. The close will tell you what it is. I finished the course yesterday, but I'm going to go over it again to fully understand and write down any more questions I might have. Definitely, bro. And at the same time, write down your questions. Practice, bro. Like, for example, supply and demand. Look for demand, like supply zones, demand zones, and draw them. I'm going to give out the homework on Sunday to do this. Literally, find 5 demand zones. So you go and you draw the box. That's like one demand zone right there. For example, you know, I'm giving you, you know, I'm showing you what it will be, and you have a whole week. You're gonna have a whole week to do it. So for example, you see volume here, you know, a push, that's a demand zone. Now I'm not gonna ask if it's a high probability or not. That'll be for the next one. We're gonna build up to it. Boom, that's another one. And so you do that 5 times, then you look for supply. Boom, there's a bunch of selling going on. Where did that start? Here, previous opposite candle. Boom, right there, that's supply. And of course, and write it down, like write it inside. So you double click on the edge and you say 5-minute supply zone, or just supply, 5-minute supply. And you will do that for the demands too. 5-minute demand. All I'm doing is, again, I'm just clicking on the edge, double clicking, 5-minute demand. And that's good. Like, that's gonna help you practicing, not just like listening to me, but going to the chart, finding the zones. That's gonna help. So just giving you kind of like a heads up, because that's really what's gonna help. So even, for example, here there's a bunch of buy-in. Now this one, if you were to draw this demand zone, you go from the top, not to the bottom of the red one, but all the way down to the start of that move. You see that? To the start of that move. I put the box right on that previous opposite candle. Boom, right there. That's a demand zone. Yes, it has a bunch of green candles inside. As long as you don't have any red ones, you just can't have any red ones, like for a demand. And for a supply, it's just the opposite way. So it just has to be all the same color. Like the ones inside, they all gotta be the same color. And previous opposite candle starts its own. So yeah, just giving you a kind of like a heads up, showing you a few examples. But of course, next week we're gonna meet and you could ask me any questions. Like, we'll go over this stuff. But yeah, let's continue here. So let's make this smaller. So the third strategy is to trade the false breakout. Okay, the third strategy is to trade the false breakout of the major support or resistance level. So yeah, that's just talking about, yeah, this false breakout like that. Now I'm trying to see why I said third. I guess I'm not keeping track, but well, number 1 would be just off of the levels, right? Support and resistance, off of those levels. That's number 1. In a choppy market, you don't take it, so that's not number 2. False breakout would be number 2, and a breakout number 3. Okay, all right, I got it. False breakout number 2, and the actual breakout number 3. So those are the 3 ways to trade the engulfing bar in a ranging market. Inside of it, false breakout and a breakout. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything. So the third strategy is to trade the false breakout of the major support or resistance level. So, and it could be, the order. Don't worry about the order. Just know that those are like the 3 ways so far. So false breakouts are one of the most powerful price action strategies. A false breakout is also what I call a liquidity grab. It's false. I mean, it's on purpose. When the market tries to break out, well, sometimes I don't even call it a false breakout. Like, I call it a failed breakout. Like, that, to me, that's one thing. A failed breakout is the market genuinely like trying to break out and it just doesn't. When that happens, usually the market will try again, right? But a liquidity grab it looks the same, but it's not. I'm going to tell you why. A liquidity grab, liquidity sweep, it's done on purpose. The banks, institutional traders, they'll push the market past support, past resistance on purpose. They'll dig in. Like, you're going to see the market dig in, or sometimes it's just one tick, like one tick. They'll dig in or just stop people out, and then he just forcibly, I can't even say the word. Forcibly. I think it's forcibly. I'm just going to say with force. They'll go the opposite direction, like hard, strong. Like, they'll stop people out and then he just drops. Or if it's on the bottom, they'll stop people out and then boom, he just takes off. That's done on purpose. When it's with that much force, that's done on purpose. That's a liquidity grab. Now, for you and me, they're gonna look the same. You never really know if it's a liquidity grab or a false breakout. So you take it the same way. Because now with the false breakout, like I said, the market will try to break out. The problem is that if you take it and it's a false breakout, usually you'll try to do it again. That's the only thing. That's really the only difference. And if it tries to do it again and you took it, then you could get stopped out. So for me, really, the liquidity grab, which I'll make a video about that. I know I've been saying it. I will. I'm just not saying when, because I got a lot going on right now. But when I do it, you're really gonna see the difference. Because I could see, the crazy thing is that for me right now, I could see the intentionality. Like, I see it in the way that the candle's moving, but this comes, like, you need to put the time in. This is gonna be from experience. From experience, I could tell when the market is trying to break out and when it's just doing a liquidity grab. Like, liquidity grab, I see it. I'm like, boom, I see it digging. Usually it's like they go hard, but then you just see it start dropping. Like, I don't know. There's really no way to explain it more than just me continuing to take them, make videos, and when I see the good ones, I'm just gonna have to put them out and show them, because it's just in the way that the candle moves. So, all right, enough of that. Hey Bashi, how you doing? Good morning. How you feeling? Are you feeling much better than, like the top of the week, the beginning of the week? Are you feeling much better than last week? I definitely, I care about everybody here, so I just want to know if you're feeling better, better than ever. So, Santana, you said, yeah, I'm going to practice on the charts. I also have to see if I can understand liquidity grab, leverage, and fair value gaps more. And listen, liquidity grabs, don't worry about it too much. I'm going to make a video about that. I have not made a video like officially about liquidity grabs, so don't even stress about it. Fair value gaps, that's what I show you when I show the gaps, and I do think I did a better job at explaining that on the course than I have anywhere else. But it's still, like, even for me, when I was first learning the gap, it took honestly a good month of practicing, just because at first it just takes work. It does take work, I'm not gonna lie. It takes work. And even me thinking I knew what the gap was, even at the beginning of the year, I had some people correct me on Discord, because some of the traders, we come from the same background, we learned the same strategy, so they corrected me, and it was something small. It was a small difference. They corrected me, and then after that, that's it. It just makes total sense. But definitely keep watching that part. if you have to watch it 2 times, 3 times, that's okay. But then practice it, because it does take practice. The fair value gaps. And then what was the other one? Leverage. And yeah, leverage. Okay. Leverage, in a way, the way I think about leverage, I just think to myself, borrow money. It's borrow money to make your position bigger. Leverage really where it comes to play is like in Forex. In Forex, they talk about leverage, 1 to 50, 1 to 200, 1 to 1,000. Like, this is for like unregulated brokers. But when it comes to futures, leverage is built in, so you don't even really have to think about leverage anymore. All you gotta think about is your contracts and ticks and points. That's it. You don't really think about leverage. So, but it's definitely great to understand. I mean, we are traders, and eventually if you want to trade other stuff too, definitely we got to understand that. So definitely, so Vashi says definitely much better than last week. Thank you. Perfect. And Vashi, I know last week we were supposed to meet, but next week I'll be open. Obviously this weekend I'll be in Miami, but next week, we could set some time if you're feeling better. Like, I mean, you are feeling better, but if you're feeling up to it. All right. So we'll continue here. Whoa, okay, this is the next part. Trading the engulfing bar with supply and demand zones. I'm not gonna get into that. We're actually gonna look for this stuff. So let's write it. I'm gonna write it in the comment section. So the three ways. Hold on, let me see how this put it. So there's 3 strategies. 3 engulfing bar strategies in a range bound market. Number 1 is going to be inside the range. Number 2 is going to be a false breakout. Now the book may have the breakout first and then a false breakout. You know what, I'm just gonna say breakout first, because it's a breakout. So breakout, and number 3, a false breakout. I just sent that. You guys could and I'm gonna pin it, because that's what we're gonna do. I just pinned it. So that's what we're gonna look for now. That is what we're going to look for now here. So the first thing we need to do is look for a range. Now, does this look like a range? This right here, this price action? No, this doesn't look like a range either. Now, what's beautiful is, because I'm trading today, look, we have a beautiful, this is a beautiful trend. So hold on. Beautiful trend, and there is a beautiful demand setup here. I will mark up the zone. I will take it if it comes down to it. I will take it, because we have a beautiful trend. Demand zone right here. I will be looking at this. Yeah, I'm gonna be looking at this, and you'll find out on Discord. If I take it, I'll go live on Discord only. I'm not gonna go live on YouTube. And by the way, Santana gave me a great idea, and through conversation yesterday, and he was just talking about, do I have videos on Discord, me trading? Now I do have, which I gotta send you the video. I do have 1 or 2 live videos on YouTube, me trading live, but I'm gonna be recording a lot more, putting a lot more on Discord, both winning and losing. Obviously, I'm not just gonna show when I win and leave the losers out. I'm gonna have both. I'm definitely gonna have both. I'm gonna put an alert here, because I'm highly interested in this zone. Why? Because this is A plus. This zone right here is super A plus. Number 1, it just broke this high. That high was broken. Boom. Whether it closes or not, it doesn't matter. Price went higher. Whether it closes up there or not, it went higher than that. Now I will see. Boom, right there. There is resistance. Oh no, it's not. Resistance is up here. Technically, this is all resistance anyway. It's just that this candle closed there, but I'll put it above the close. So right there, we'll see what happens. But it's still a higher high. Look at this. Look at that market structure. So higher high, it's higher than this one. Higher low, higher than this one. Higher high, higher low, right here. I mean, I went kind of like equal. Let me do this again. So higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Yo, oil is trending beautifully right now. Beautifully. Like, that's A plus. Like, listen, there is a trend. There is a trend, number one. Number two, there is it's a demand setup. We have demand. Look at all of this buying activity going on. Number three, we have, well, the only thing, actually there is no gap in front of the zone. There, like, look at this. That's the only, well, it's not A plus. Market structure is beautiful. It is low probability because there is no fair value gap in front. The key, which I had to learn, the key is that it has to be in front, right in front of the zone. So once the candles go out, right, there has to be a gap. So pretty much always from the first candle here to the third, first to the third, that's how I look at it. There is no gap. When you really think about it, that first candle is here. Hold on. And the third one is here. There is no gap in front of the zone. Now there is a gap from here to here, but that gap right there is not in front of the zone. That's really the main thing. Like back then, I used to take setups that had a gap anywhere, but it's not anywhere. It has to be right in front of the zone. That's the strategy. Now, I didn't make that up, right? But that's what makes it high probability. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I am not gonna lie. Even though this is low probability, because it has everything else. Because it has everything else, I would not, like, I would be okay with taking this. Even if it loses, I will be okay with it. I will be okay with it. Now, why is that? Because it has it has everything else. So trading at the end of the day is all about risk, taking risk, and accepting. I didn't even write that correctly. And accepting the outcome. So I would accept the outcome of that. If it was to fail, I would accept the outcome. Now, we could have a failed breakout here. Or, you know, like this high could fail. I don't think so though. It has about 15 seconds right now. Yeah, right now. So I don't think it's gonna fail. Like, now, is there a high probability 1 minute inside? Nope. That's low probability, but I like everything else. So if he comes back to it and he holds, I'll probably take it just because of that price action, that market structure. Let me see. Okay, Vashi has said, great job, Santana. I still gotta finish the course. It got up to lesson 9, I think. Great, easy to understand info. Thank you for that. Santana has said, thanks, Vasia. I appreciate a lot your advice. I really want to do the cards and put them on a board like you said. Yes. Which, actually, I gotta print out some stuff too, and put them here around my desk. Anyway, yes, if you could do live trading videos saying why you took it and how you set up for it and how you close the trade. And technically, like, that's what I've been doing, that live. Like, all of my trades this week, I took them live on this channel, on Discord. Like, here, the live stream channel, just like this. I go and late, like, sometimes, let me see, I think at least one day I attack everybody. You see, like, I said everyone. Yesterday I couldn't. Like, it was just so fast, I didn't have time to set everything up. But if you see me on this channel, you could join it. It's gonna be muted, so it's okay. Like, you don't have to feel shy. You see, add everyone. Well, yesterday I did get a chance to add everyone. So if I do this, you should get a notification as long as you have them on, right? So at that point, you know, you'll know that I'm live, and I talk about that. Like, I wait for the setup, I take it, you see my full-blown execution, you see everything. Like, if I win, I lose, you see everything. Yesterday I lost, you know, I talk about that. So, but I'm also recording. Usually I am recording at the same time, so I will try to post as many as possible. I'm not gonna lie though, am I always gonna do that? like most likely not, because it takes time. Like me actually going, because I'm gonna edit the video. I'm not gonna just like the whole time. You know, if I waited for an hour, I'm not gonna have the whole hour. I'm gonna have to edit it down to, you know, right before I took the trade, when I took the trade, and the outcome. That's what I will have to do. But I will be doing that. I'm gonna create a channel for that. Under like Yo Javi, under my category. Let me move this out the way. So under Yo Javi, right here under my category, I will have a channel for live trades, like live trades recap or something like that, and I'll announce it. I'm gonna put it in the announcements. But this price action right now is beautiful. At least from here, like that's just beautiful. Low probability, 5-minute demand. Honestly, I would take it. Again, it's low probability. I wouldn't always do that, but I love the market structure. So, okay, range bounds. So real quick, I'm gonna find a range, look for an engulfing bar. This is all choppy. Okay, here we go with this thing. It really doesn't show anything like that, but just in case, you know, it shows the password or something. Not because of you guys, but I never know like who's eventually gonna watch these videos. This is all choppy. All this price action is choppy. All right, I'm gonna get the actual. Well, let's go to CL right there. There's range here, but it was broken. It was broken pretty fast. I do see an engulfing, at least as the book shows it. But it doesn't show it. It's not outside of it. It's not a breakout. So here, it actually has an engulfing, like this candle is engulfing this previous one. I usually want at least a wick here to completely cover this. But according to the book, like as long as this candle is bigger and it's like right there, it's engulfing. So technically, this candle engulfed the previous one. You can't take sales. Now, only problem is you gotta be careful for liquidity grabs or failed breakouts. But technically, this right here is a breakout. You know, one of the 3 strategies, that's a breakout. It happened right before, but it's a breakout. It's not always going to happen as the book shows it, so you have to back test, you have to forward test, because it's not always going to happen as the book shows it. Let me read the comments. So would that be considered a head and shoulder on the chart you're looking at? Is it here or did I already pass it? Let me know, because technically a head and shoulder, well, this is a head and shoulder right here, like this right here. Now it's not like perfect price action, but boom. And head and shoulders, I thought they were gonna be perfect. They're not. They look like this, like the shoulders. Now this is a messed up shoulder, you know. This one has surgery, but still, it's still in my book, it's still a head and shoulder. You know, you got this bump right here, went up, went down, another bump, boom, went up. Usually this is a bearish pattern, but the market is going to do what the market is going to do, what it wants to do, not what you expect it to do. So okay, that's this right here. That was a breakout. So we got a breakout. I'm going to share this with y'all. So engulfing bar breakout. Copy link. I should be putting these links on Discord. I think I'm gonna have to organize that, so I could do that. It all depends too on the other chart. Oh, that was the other chart. Okay, yeah, the other chart. I'll take a quick look. I just shared that. Okay, the other chart. This one. Yeah, this right here. It also looks like this right here, head and shoulders, shoulder, head, shoulder, messed up again, boom. Yeah. Now here, this one, like, yes, you could look at it that way too, but I'm not even gonna lie, I don't like head and shoulder. Some people trade that, you know, it's supposed to be a bearish pattern, a head and shoulder, and that's why, like, this stuff, I don't really look at it like that. It is like that. I mean, that pattern is there. This, and honestly, this is definitely head and shoulder, definitely. I'm not debating that. So technically, the cleanest market structure is here. It starts from here. This is really the cleanest market structure, because here you technically have, you know, the head and shoulder, kind of like a range there, broke out, came back. So the cleanest market structure is here on this side. Okay, I just shared this one, the engulfing bar breakout. Let's see if there's one inside or a failed breakout. So number one, we would have to find an actual range. That's number one. If you don't have a range, you can't test this. So we have a range here going on. It's just gonna look sideways, like the market is moving horizontally. Now, second question, at support or resistance, do we have an engulfing bar, an engulfing candlestick? In a way, this one engulfs the previous one. Now, again, for me, I need to see it go past it completely, but the book did show ones that were like very close on one end. So I'm not gonna highlight that one, because that is a breakout. It is engulfing, but I'm gonna stick to how I look at it. And of course, if you want to look at that as an engulfing, like, a lot of this, some of these things will be up to your discretion. Like, you could have your own discretion, you know, nothing wrong with that. Of course, you have to be able to communicate with other traders, so you got to keep the main things. But okay, here, another range. Do we have an engulfing bar somewhere, like around support or resistance? Now this, technically, you could look at it like this. It broke out, came back in. Now this candle, now this is not an opposite candle, and now I'll be honest, I don't remember if it has to be a different color candle. I don't even, as long as it engulfs the previous one, I think that's enough. But of course, I really do think it's gonna be different colors. I will have to look again at the book, but I'm not gonna count that one, only because not necessarily because of the color, but because it broke out, consolidated, and then it went up. That's gonna be harder to catch. If you wanted to catch it, you can. I mean, this candle is engulfing the previous one. It is the same color, but it is engulfing it, so you could always, that's something, if it works, if you back test it and it works a lot, then you could take it. But you have to test it. All this stuff, you have to test it. I can't do this for you, right? Like, I could do it for myself, but you still gotta do this so that you could get the skill. It's like if you want to learn how to play the piano, I could play it for hours and hours and hours, and you could watch me play it for hours, but it's not until you start practicing it yourself that you're gonna get better at it, that you're gonna be able to play it. And here I'm just showing you the process. I think this is even more valuable, as to like show you how I look for this. I think it's even more valuable than just having it ready. I could have it ready, right? I could have it ready, but then you're not seeing the process as to how I find it. And we got 5 people connected. Thank you, everybody that's here watching me right now, that's watching the content. Of course, this is all about the content. Look, engulfing candle right here. We have one inside of the range. So there, now I know this range is kind of big, but it's inside of it. Now, if you wanted to go like this, you're not wrong. But I'm going, the reason why I put it here is because we have wicks here. We have the candle, like this candle going all the way up. So right there, boom. You could wait for it to close and then take it. Hold on real quick. Okay, so you see that? Like you could put the stop loss right above it. Boom, that's an entry right there. 1 to 4. So that's an engulfing bar inside of the range. We did the breakout. It was the first one, right? Let me just double check. I mean, I don't want to put the same thing. I do the breakout. Okay, we did breakout. This is inside of the range, and now we just need a failed breakout. So engulfing bar inside of range. Boom. Copy link. I'm gonna share that with y'all. Okay, and now we just need one more. We just need one more. And real quick, I have to show you this. No, it's not a commercial. It's not a commercial. I have to show you this. Please, please, please listen. If you guys, I know a lot of you will come back, you know, I know a lot of you will come back and watch and learn and support and everything. There might be people that may just watch me today and that's it. If you don't ever like watch my content again, please, and this is not even mine, but please, is it here? Let me see. I just shared a link, mindset. Please, 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 please watch this video. This is really on, it's on profitability. Really what it takes to like become profitable. The mindset, it's called the Consistently Winning Trader. This is a video, it's free, it's on YouTube. I'm gonna share the link right now. Please, like, this video sums up the mindset. Like, and I'm gonna show you something too that I've been doing even before this video. Now, this came from what is it called? I forgot the name of the book. Trading in the Zone. Trading in the Zone. He talks about your edge playing out over 100 trades, right? So right now, this is something that I'm doing. I'm tracking 100 trades, right? 100 trades, because this is really where the edge plays out. Now, I did get, and he talks about this. I do have a cluster of losers right here. That's okay. I have a small stop loss. When I win bigger than when I lose. That's okay. Like, we're still on track. But he even talks about this, like how sometimes you're going to get a cluster of winners, but you're going to get a cluster of losers. So on that cluster, if you're not trading like this, if you're not really trading for 100 trades, if you're not trading like risking 1%, 2% per trade, your account will be hurt when you have a cluster like this. And they come. I promise you, they come. So this, you have to watch this video. Let me share the link right now. Like, if you don't ever watch me again, please watch this video, because I want the best for you. And I do think this video is it's honestly one of the best videos I've watched on profitability. Because if you, like, put it this way, if you don't watch this video, you may not understand how to become profitable. This video, like, and it takes work. It takes going, like, look, 100 trades and I only trade once a day. Now, you're gonna see some days that are double, like 2, right? That's because of the entry. Like, so I take an entry and a re-entry, so you might see 2 of them like that, right? Now this is 2. Now what is this? 2 setups. Okay, 2 setups here. The VWAP rejection and resistance. So usually it would be, like, for example, this right here would be a VWAP rejection that turned into resistance. So it turned into 2 setups, really. And I think the dates are wrong on this, because I don't take 4 entries. So I didn't change the date on that, I think. But anyway, the point being that you still got to track over at least 100 trades. Like, that's where you start. So, but you got to understand this mindset. I sent the video. It's also on my Discord on the mindset channel. Like, please, that's it. It's free. Like, I'm not telling you to buy anything. It's free. It's free. I shared the engulfing bar inside of the range. We just need a failed breakout. Any questions right now? Any questions? Like, we're just gonna look for that last one. Any questions? Please let me know if you have any questions. And to be honest, I don't know if we're gonna find like quickly a failed breakout. I'm gonna do my best. you know what it looks like. So I'm not gonna kill myself either trying to find it. I will do my best. But as I'm doing that, any questions? Vashi said, is that just an Excel sheet you created? I had an actual trading paper journal before, but I also created a chart similar to yours. I could see how my mood affected my choice to enter crappy trades. Yes, that's just something I created. I just called it 100 trade strike zone method. It's not perfect. I still actually, and technically, I didn't put the color here. Let me format it. It's something I created, nothing crazy. I just have trade number, like, you know, it's 1 through 100, like to 100, so it just goes down. The date, strategy, outcome, P&L, and like I didn't get fancy. Like for example, here I could do like fancy things where I could just pick the strategy, put it there, but I didn't get fancy or anything. If you guys want this, I could send a template. I could actually put the template on Discord. And if I get fancy at some point, I could share that too. But screenshot, I just put the link, so literally I could always reference that trade. I could go back, look at the trade, and notes. For example, market was under all indicators, had rejected the 4-hour rejection zone. The wicks took me out, nothing to be ashamed of. That was a good trade. The re-entry failed. That's okay. It was still a good trade. So yeah, a good trade is not based on the outcome. A good trade is based on if you follow your rules. That's really a good trade. Did you follow your rules? That's a good trade. Not the outcome. If you get hung up on the outcome, you're not, like, it'll be impossible to become profitable, because that's really gonna affect how you trade. That's not gonna make you consistent. It's not gonna make you disciplined. So what's gonna make you disciplined is sticking to your rules. I'm gonna watch him this weekend and learn. Yes, please. Like, honestly, I want the best for everybody here. I'm not showing up every day, and I'm not saying this to Vashi. I'm just saying, like, I want the best for everybody. I don't just show up because, oh, like, even if it was like, if you thought, oh, he's just doing YouTube for the money. YouTube doesn't pay you. Like, yo, you gotta like grind so hard just to be monetized. And then after you're monetized, it takes so long. I have another monetized channel. It's not about trading. It's about music. That channel was monetized. You know how much I got paid? I only got 2 checks, and that channel has like 7 years. It has over 1 million views together, not in like a single video, but together. I only got 2 checks, $100 each. That's it. So I'm not doing YouTube for the money. And of course, I know this. I mean, this is a different market. I know it could bring some income eventually, but I'm not showing up every day, day in and day out for a paycheck. This channel is not paying me. I'm really showing up because I want to put, number one, if I talk about my selfish reasons, because we got to be transparent. When you teach what you know, it like you internalize that knowledge. So even to learn, when you teach, that's helping you become better. So if I'm talking about the selfish side, me teaching is helping me become a better trader, right? Eventually, I know that this could help grow the community, like talking about the selfish reasons, but that's all eventually. That's all an investment. It's all a time investment. That's not me say, like, in order for me to show up every day and do this consistently and do this for years, I have to generally have a passion. I generally have to want to teach people. You don't even see me promoting prop firms. I make videos going against it. And there is, I'm not against prop firms, but I'm just saying my reasons. But anyway, a lot of the traders on YouTube that make a lot of money, it's not even just their trading, it's them promoting prop firms. I'm not even promoting a prop firm. Do I promote the community? Yes, because it's how I learned the best. So I promote that because I believe in that. You see what I'm saying? So my point being, like, that video, it really is about that video. I'm sharing it, and I emphasize it so hard because, like, I want you to win, and I think that video is going to help you. That's it. Pardon my rant. Let's continue here. Let's continue. Oh, you said, where did you drop that video on Discord? It's here in the mindset. So under growth, the growth channel or growth category, mindset, and it's here. So you're going to have to scroll down a little bit. But yeah, it's under growth, mindset, video. And I just dropped it here in the description box here. That you said, yes, because you repeat things over and over and it becomes second nature to know it. Yep. And I would advise y'all to do that too. Listen, if you really want to learn, listen, I would definitely advise start a YouTube channel. Just put out your journey. You're not like me. I'm not saying I'm an expert. I'm just sharing my journey. I'm sharing what I learned. That's it. Can't say I'm an expert, but if you do that, I would actually, and I will support y'all. If you guys start a YouTube channel, I'll support y'all. If you guys ever want me to be on your YouTube, I'll do that too. Like, but that's gonna help y'all. My main point is that will help you learn and internalize this knowledge. Failed breakout. Is there a failed breakout? And an engulfing bar. This one tried to break out, but nope. Another range here, no, but I don't see an engulfing. I'm looking for a failed breakout and an engulfing bar. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so here we have, so we have a range. Do we have an engulfing bar? Nope, not no engulfing bar there. Well, failed breakout with an engulfing bar. This is gonna be a little bit more specific, so I might have to give that as homework. I'm trying, but that may have to be homework. Okay, so here. Technically, failed breakout. You could look at it as a failed breakout. And hint, liquidity grab. This is definitely, look, went up, failed, and then it just dropped aggressively, liquidity grab. So failed breakout, liquidity grab, they're similar. I'm not gonna say they're the same, but they're similar. What makes them different? Intentionality. And trust me, you could see that eventually. It's gonna take time, but eventually you could see it. Okay, failed breakout, but no engulfing bar. Yeah, that's gonna be harder. I'm gonna have to leave that as homework. I'm gonna try like 2 more times. Okay, here. If not, it's just gonna be homework. You see how I'm looking for it though. Failed breakout. This is not completely engulfing it. Here, let's see, failed breakouts, no engulfing. Let's see. Let's see. Nope, I don't see it there. I'm trying to see like a big range. Okay, let's see here. Nope, not there. Good morning, the one-stop trader. How you doing, bro? How you doing, bro? I know, yeah, I got that in mind that you like to short and you only short. I did see, I think you had a story about that, like only short. I like that though. I like when people find what works for them. Like that's beautiful. That is beautiful. Okay, I think the closest, and this is at the start, I think the closest we're gonna get to it is gonna be this. I mean, I'm not gonna go crazy looking for it. The closest we're gonna get to it is gonna be this. So I can't say it's this one because there is no range yet. Now there is a range here, and here you have an engulfing bar. Yes, this one is not going past it, but the book even has an example like this. This candle though, and even the body, like it just eats this candle completely. So this is the closest we're gonna get to it here. So it tried to break out, but technically it didn't even go past this candle. So I'm not even gonna say like it tried to break out. It didn't go past that previous wick. So honestly, I'm gonna leave that as homework. You could find a failed breakout, one that completely covers the previous one, and then it just goes back into the range. That's really what we're looking for. So that's it. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna keep looking for it. That's homework. I did two of them. So I think y'all could do the last one. And that's gonna help y'all. And I could look at other instruments. And try to find it. Like you could look at Nas. Nas probably will have a bunch. I'm gonna give it one more try with Nas. I know Nas has been choppy, it's been ranging, it's been doing everything but being clean. I think Nas will give us one. Okay. You see, for a failed breakout, I want to see this. Like, I want to see a big wick, because that's the market trying to break out. But then this is not engulfing. Let's see. I'm looking for, so here, let's see it in this range. Again, I don't look at the beginning because there was no range at that point. This one broke out, so that's not a failed breakout. Yeah, like not everything is gonna be that easy to find. That'll be homework. I already see, like it's gonna take some time. I'm not gonna keep wasting y'all time. So that's it with that. Any questions? Any comments? Let me look at the comments here. So the One Stop Trader says psychology along with technicals. Listen to Randy Howell. Okay, Randy, I'm screenshotting this. Okay, thank me later. Perfect. Well, I'm gonna thank you now, because I'm gonna thank you now, bro. Randy Howell. I think that's how it's I know it's E instead of a Y, but okay. Vashi says the One Stop Trader. I will check him out. Thank you. Perfect. An audiobook on YouTube called Reminiscence of a Stock Trader. I'm sorry, of a stock operator. Okay. I screenshotted that whole thing. 9 hours long, but listen to his story. I don't mind. I'll listen throughout the week. I'm not scared of that. I'll listen throughout the week. So psychology, we are the problem, guys. Even in this like seminar that he did or lecture, he said, hold on, let me see if I remember it correctly. Now, this is a little bit more on the technical side, more than just the psychology, but he said that profitability, and I just found this out, it's just that this book really confirmed it. So now that I've been posting my P&L on, like, here on my Discord, like I'm literally posting the P&L. Hold on, let me show y'all. And if you hear my son, he's fine. He's back here. I may have to take a look at him. He's calling his brother. Let's see. Okay, that's member P&L. My P&L is daily P&L. So I'm posting my daily P&Ls here. Like, I'm not playing with that, because that stops me from tilting if everybody sees my P&L. Of course, I don't share my account balance, but you see the outcome of every single trading day, right? I realized that the commissions, like, yo, if you're not watching them, they could add up and they really kind of like play against you when it comes to trading. So in this seminar, lecture, Dr. David Paul said that profitability is a mixture of your hit rate, which is your win rate, your risk to reward ratios, and commissions. So I'm glad that he said that, because I'm just now picking up on that. I'm like, damn, like these commissions, if you're not doing this correctly, like they eat into your profits, like they do. And any brokers, like they're all gonna have commissions. I mean, you could do research, maybe you find one without commissions, but for the most part, they're gonna have commissions. And yes, you still profit, but they eat a good chunk of your commission. I mean, of your trade. So definitely watch this stuff. Hold on, let me check on my son real quick. Okay. He's good. My son is just just being loud. But and I don't know, the mic may or may not pick it up, but definitely I gotta check on him. But anyway, that's it. Like go over that. Go over the One Stop Traders recommendation. Paul Goat. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, it takes one or two trades because of him. Yeah. And I didn't start taking one or two trades because of him, because I kind of just came across him, and I will look into his content more. But I just right away I realized, like, yo, the more you trade, the more mistakes you make, the more you lose. You give back your profits, like all of that. And even I think for me, I think also what helped was trading in the zone. I believe he talks about that. But listen, we gotta tighten up. You know, we just have a few more months, like 5 months left. You know, for the year to be over. So let's stay locked in. Let's everybody help each other out. You guys help me just as much as I may help through the content. You guys help me out a lot. Even me sharing my P&L, knowing that you guys are looking, that helps me. I'm gonna be honest. That helps me, because if I think about tilting, I know I'm gonna have to show y'all my P&L, and it's gonna show. And honestly, that freaks me out. That freaks me out, because I don't want to let y'all down. That's really what it is. I don't want to let y'all down. I want to become an example. Like, honestly, if I want to become an example, I gotta act as an example. So me posting my P&L, it's helping tremendously with that, and my account right now is thanking me for that. Honestly, I'm trading the best I have traded this whole year. Like, honestly, and you saw I have like a cluster of L's, right? I'm not worried, because I'm trading small in comparison to my capital. And right now, I was profitable so far. Right now, I'm in drawdown like $8. Listen, $8 in drawdown. I could get that back in my next trade plus. So I'm not worried about it. The edge is going to play out over 100 trades. And all I want to let you know right now, this is the last thing. Listen. Well, I'm reading the comments. Yep, Vashi says my ultimate goal is 2 trades max. And I will say, if you're green for the day, that's it. Like, honestly, there's no need to give back the profits. If you're green, you know, 1 trade is good. If you're losing, taking a second trade, that's fine. But if you're green, stay green. I think that's key too. Thanks again, Yo Javi and the One Stop Trader. Definitely anytime. All I'm gonna say is, let's stay locked in. Honestly, like, I care about you guys. I care about the time you've been putting into your learning. I care about the time you've put into your trading. Let's stay locked in. I'm sure like mostly everybody is part of the community. If you're not, I'm going to send the link for the community. If you want to join it, if you don't, that's okay. There's the link. I'm not even going to like really talk about it. You could read it. You guys see the type of work we're putting in. You see that we care. The main thing is that we care. That's it. We care. So I'm just going to share the link. If anybody's not part of it and you want to become part of it, we care. Like, I care about you. The community cares about you. Honestly, like, if you start engaging with the community, they're going to engage with you. I created a nice vibe. Like, there's a nice, there's mutual respect. There's no like competition. And I always said it. It's stupid in trading to be competitive, because I know this might be controversial, but if you're competitive in trading, people are going to stop telling you what works for them, because now they want to win. So now you don't have that insight. You're just missing out. You're cutting your blessing. When everybody helps each other, we learn from what works. So if we all learn from what's working for other people, we take the good, leave the bad. Take what makes sense for us, leave what doesn't. Just take what adds to your trading, leave what doesn't. And that's what we're building. So if you want to be part of that, I shared the link. That's it. It's there. I don't have anything else. Do you guys have any questions? I'm going to put a timer, 40 seconds or 45. Let's do 45 for questions. If no questions come in, I'll be out. Doesn't have to be just questions. It could be anything. We're like around 40 something. Hold on. Right there. 38. Yep. I appreciate y'all waiting for that timer. I thank you guys. The time you know, everything. I'll be in Miami. Hopefully the next trip is to the Bahamas, right? Hopefully. But thank you all. 19 seconds. Any questions? Okay, 5 seconds. What the heck? I guess one of you guys sent me a Cash App. If you guys did, I appreciate that greatly. That helps the channel. That helps everything here. Cause I don't know this person. At least I don't see the username. But whoever you are, thank you. I honestly appreciate it. It helps the channel. It helps the efforts. It helps, you know, the time, everything. I appreciate you, whoever that was. I'm not gonna say the name because I don't know if you want me to say the name. Oh, okay, got it. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all. This is your hobby. Continue being great. The world is yours. Thank you. Okay, you said it. The One Stop Trader. Thank you. Everybody thank the One Stop Trader. I appreciate it. The world is yours.